everyone, this is Eileen from Eileen Stuffs, and today we are going to be doing my budget with my May 1st paycheck. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. I am a cash budgeter and stuffer here on YouTube, and I am working on paying off debt as well as building up an emergency and sinking funds. So if that is something that you're interested in and you haven't already, please consider subscribing below. So we have another good check. I think I said this in the last video, but if I can keep my paychecks between about $2,500 to $3,000 a paycheck, I'm good with meeting all the demands and the bills and having stuff left over and paying off debt. I was happy to see that we made that goal for myself. I have more money to work with. Checks are pretty much back to normal now, and it's such a relief. It's just what a difference it makes when I have $900 to $1,000 more a paycheck, right? I'm excited. I feel like I can hit some extra stuff this pay as far as debt's concerned, because that's again my focus right now. But we are going to get right into it. Let me pull up May 1st. These are my goals for May. I will list my end of the month April review if you want to, because that's when I filled this out. And my dog hears me talk. I'm sorry. My dog is probably like, I don't know, this woman, like, she disappears, and then when she's home, she's like sitting under this light talking to herself. But she's coming down the stairs right now. She has taken to sitting right next to me when I film videos, and she'll just basically stare at me the whole time. I'm sorry, I'm laughing as I can hear her paws coming down the stairs one by one. All right, let's get into it. I'm getting distracted by Riley. So it is May 1st, and we did get our pay. I'm sorry, today is actually not May 1st. It's actually Saturday the 29th. Mine came through a day early, which I was super happy to see, but my pay was $2,550. So nice chunk of money. And I did say I'm going to start putting my rollover here. I also had rollover, and the rollover in my bank is $26.02. I have decided in May I am actually going to do an experiment where I'm going to track my expenses. Mostly I'm going to track my miscellaneous, what I keep in the bank, so I can get a better idea of where my rollover is going and allocate it better in my budget. I know what it is. I'm pretty sure most of it is food and just extra things that come up. Like it seems like I'll forget to budget Riley's dog food, which is like $68 a bag, or it's usually stuff like that. But I am going to practice that this month. So that's why I gave a big sigh, because I was like, where did this money go again? A commenter commented that I should try outlining where my miscellaneous line goes, and so I'm going to take her advice and I'm going to try that in May. So that's like a challenge to myself, a financial challenge I have, and I will show you guys. I think it'll be interesting to break it down and then kind of review what's going on with the budget, and then maybe how can I allocate that money difference, so maybe I can budget more for things because I obviously maybe need more than what I'm budgeting. And like I said, I'm pretty sure food is the biggest culprit there. I know it is. But then yes, I'm trying to get in the habit of having cash for everything and then not needing the debit card. That's really the goal here. I'm also going to put, I just put May 29th. It's actually April 29th. I'm going to put May 1st. Okay. So my estimated taxes, there's also a story with taxes. I decided that I'm going to pull out $600 for taxes. And I made a decision about how to manage my taxes. So right now, about the 22nd of the month, I have an automatic IRS deduction for my 2021 tax return. And then I have 2022. So what I think I'm going to do is on my first paycheck of the month, my estimated taxes, I'm actually just going to go online and make estimated payments for 2023. My 15th paycheck, that estimated tax money I pull, I'm actually going to throw towards an extra payment towards the tax I owe. So that way I can cover both needs. I figured since the IRS is getting money on the 22nd, I'll just kind of give them money towards the 2021 taxes / 2022 taxes are about the same time. And then in the beginning of the month, I will look ahead to 2023. This $600, I'm actually going to make an estimated payment for 2023. I don't know why I keep second guessing myself. I guess because, yeah, the years is going. I think I'm going to put about like a quarter of this. So let's say like maybe one, I think I'm going to do $200 to 2023 state. And then I'm going to do $300 towards 2023 federal, and I'm going to do this just every paycheck. I'm not even going to bother waiting for estimated. If you don't have to do estimated taxes, you may not know this, but you're basically supposed to pay your taxes quarterly. That you pay them in April, June, September, and January. Traditionally, I wait and save all this money to make quarterly payments, but I realized that that's not working for me. Obviously, that's what 2022 taught me, that wasn't really working for me, because I would save the money, but then more often than not, I actually used it to pay for work things. I have to separate that. So my new goal for 2023 is just pay every month. Just as I take the money out of my paycheck, I'm just going to go online and pay, because the reality is I don't have to wait for quarterly payments. I can pretty much pay taxes anytime I want. The IRS will always take my money, and I think in the long run it'll help me, because it'll be easier for me to make smaller payments every month than to, I think, try to keep that money. And part of this tax, I'm going to think about business expense, and I know that's kind of maybe hard, but it's just because this all comes out of my business account. 200 is going to be for state. 300 is going to be my estimated tax for 2023. And then 100 I'm going to keep in my business account. I have like a buffer, and then I'm going to do that every check. And then once the 2021/22 bill is done, I'll do that with both checks. But I really wanted to focus. I'm like, oh, I could just focus per paycheck, because I kind of budget per paycheck. So that was kind of my way of budgeting. My paycheck is first paycheck, we're going to devote to 2023. Second paycheck, we're going to devote to 2021/2022 bill. I've already made like several $100s on that. So the 2021 should be going down, but now 2022 was added. So meh. We're going to take care of this. And that is my plan. That kind of goes into the, if I keep my checks between $2,500 and $3,000, that over $2,000 can just go to taxes, and then pretty good with $2,000 and under for bills and for living. So that is just what I am aiming for here, and I just hope I can keep on trucking through the summer, because if I can keep up this, by the end of the summer of September, I can have paid a huge chunk. I don't know. I've never been in this situation before, guys. I've never owed taxes in my life, and I know it seems to be a sensitive subject, and but I know for me, a lot of it just had to do with, this was just so hard. You know, it's just the year of going through a divorce and everything I went through, and it just wasn't, you know, I've been through a hard time. So I think that now I'm on my feet again. I'm picking myself back up. And part of that is planning ahead and fixing what's behind, right? I'm kind of cleaning up my messes as I go and planning for the future at the same time. And then I'm kind of in the middle like, oh, but I also need to eat, right? So this is kind of what's happening here. That is why I'm taking out so much for taxes, because I'm going to devote that to 2023 to make an estimated payment, and also to save money in my business account, because I do tend to need stuff for work. And I work with kids, so I have to buy things like Play-Doh and stuff I use for hands, and I just need stuff, assessments. I mean, that's just part of my business. It's a business expense. So it's nice to have a little buffer in there for just in case I need something for sessions or work. Okay, but that was a long, drawn out spiel. I'm feeling kind of sensitive about this topic right now, I will tell you. And so we have $2,550 for my paycheck, and then we take out $600 for taxes. So that leaves us with $1,950 plus my rollover of $2,602. So that gives me $1,976.02. So I'm going to write that there. And then I have my roommate's check for bills for his half, which is $865.93. So I'm going to add that in because I can pay the house bills. So total budget that I'm working with is $2,841.95. And I'm curious about, yeah, look at the difference. So in April, we were at $2,308. So I have way more money now. So that's pretty cool because and then March was $2,563. So still, you know, big difference. Oh, February was $2,496. So we've got several hundred more than what we've been working with. That, like I said, it's kind of a relief. And now let's look at the bills. I'm going to just write it here. Our total budget is $2,841.95. We have $2,841.95. Right, we have first and foremost is rent. If nothing else, you have to pay your rent. That is a rule that I live by. So $1,371.54. And then we have our electric, which was $90.89. Some of these bills are going down, which is really nice to see. So that's $1,280.65. The gas bill is like in half. Last month it was 90, and I was really happy to see that it was all the way down to 46 this month. And these bills will get lower with the summer, so I'm kind of excited for that. 4605, which brings me down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 60. Water bill was 79.48. That brings me down to 1,155.12. We have the internet. That's 45. It doesn't come out until the 23rd, 4th or something. I always list it here because I have to get my roommate's half, and that's why I kind of put it here so I have it considered, and then I minus it out so it stays in my bank. So I'm not going to count that. My phone is 106.79, so that brings me down to 1048.33. Part of this bill is actually from my phone, just paying for my monthly phone payment, and I realized I've actually been paying that for over a year now, and I think it was only 2 years. So this actually, I think my phone's almost paid off at this point. I need to go online and check. That would be nice. I mean, I think I might have about 6 more months or so, but I've actually paid a big chunk in at this point. My health insurance is 50.70, so that brings me down to 997.63. I have my furniture credit card payment, which is 30, so that brings me down to 967.63. I have a student loan payment, so that brings me down to 881. Was that a 05? My violin is 33. So I have been having thoughts about my violin. I rent my violin. I love playing. It's just something I do for myself. For me, it's just peaceful. I like playing music and I love playing the violin. That being said, it's something that's a huge part of my daily life. But I've been having doubts about paying for it every month right now. I've thought about turning it back in and maybe trying again but anyway, so I'm going to keep it for another month and think about it, but I have been kind of on the fence about what I should do with my violin rental. I've just seen it as such a big mental health piece for myself that I don't know, but also it's not necessary, so I got to think about that. I'm going to take another month, so we're going to keep it for May. I'm going to make a Snowball payment of 50 towards my debt, so that'll be 798.05, and then I do have some easy pays, and those are actually that'll go down to 721.75, and I wanted to keep 50. I'm gonna need gas. Oh my God, I'm up to like a quarter of a tank. I wanted to set aside 50 for gas. That should actually pretty close to fill my tank. Usually when I fill my tank, it lasts for like a whole month. So I'm hoping I'm going to put in 50. It should top it, bring it to full, and then might not even need to budget for gas next time. Take out 50 for gas. We have 671.75. And then I have to minus out 22.50 because that is from my roommate's check for internet. So that leaves me with, $649.25. That is the most I've had all year, right? All year. This time of the year is so much easier. Yeah, so last time I ended up with 530. Okay, not so. What did I end up with here? Oh, this was like really low. That's when I had to pull from my emergency fund. It was like 100. And then what did I do in March? 499, 370, no, 351. That's almost double left over. What about February? 255. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, that's a huge difference. That's awesome. All right, let's think about, I think I kind of know what I want to do. I'm going to leave 200. Okay. Let me think about this. So my ATM machine will let me withdraw denominations in 10s, 20s, and 50s. I really want to keep my cash in 10, 20, and 50 increments so that I can just go to the ATM machine and withdraw money and do my cash stuffing and have cash because I need to go food shopping without having to wait to go to the bank on Monday. So that's kind of my motivating factor today with getting out cash. I need my money to be something that, again, can be taken out in a 10, 20, or 50. So when I'm saying that because we have a 649.25. So we're going to leave the 25 in there. And then if I leave out 200, that would be 449, but I can't really take out I'll just leave the 9. So I'm going to leave $209.25. That's going to be miscellaneous money. So that gives me cash of a nice even 440. All right, I'm gonna list out my wallet and my sinking funds and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So we have $440 and I'm like, you know, this is okay because that is $440 after paying, again, a huge chunk for taxes, paying on my bills, paying another Snowball payment, leaving some miscellaneous in the bank, and we're still plugging. I do feel like food is my biggest expense, and so I think I'm going to do $200 for food. Because again, the goal is to just have the cash and not use this money in here. So I'm going to give myself more than normal. Kind of going back to the spiel I did earlier where I know a lot of my miscellaneous goes to food. Yeah, like last time I left 160. This is why I love having everything in a budget book, because it's actually very helpful to go back and see what you did and compare. Before I did 150, so 200 is a lot for me, but there's nothing wrong with having extra, because if I don't use it, it's just rollover. But if I have more, then maybe I won't use my debit card. I did do 200 that month. So I know it feels like a lot. I'm gonna take out 200 for food. There is a few personal care items that I need. Make a little list going. How much should I leave for personal? I feel like, I wish I could look at my list right now, but my list is on my phone and I use my phone to film. I think what I'm gonna do 20 for personal, and then I'll do my usual 20 for miscellaneous, and that way it's there. So we'll do, again, you know, that's a lot out of that chunk, but that kind of gets me by. So we'll do 20 for personal, 20 for miscellaneous, and that gives us 200 for sinking funds, which is great. Okay, bills. We're throwing in 20 in the bills. I'm just going hardcore trying to build up that bill fund for the winter. And that brings me down to one. That's all I can think about is next winter and being prepared. I feel like a squirrel that's like already gathering nuts for the winter. But I'm gathering $20 bills. Medical, that's for my medicine. I'm gonna do 10, which will bring me down to 170. Savings, I'm just gonna throw in a 5. Just try to throw something in there. 165. Shopping is just meh. Giving again is not, can't right now. Riley, okay, that dog, she's gonna need, I actually just got the postcard in the mail saying what she's due for. Let me pull out 30 for her, and then my next check I'll pull out more, and then we should be close to what she needs. Plus that dog needs food, and I totally forgot about her food. So I might have to pull from her envelope for food actually. So there we go. I could probably get away with a smaller bag for a couple weeks. But we'll see. We'll see what she has in there. I'm just going to give her 30 because either that's going to be her food money to get her like a half-size bag, or that'll go towards her shots. That'll bring me down to 135. I always like to put in car. The 10 for that brings me down to 125. Okay, 125. A big chunk of this is for my mom. I'm going to put in 75 for my mom. That brings me down. Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about my rule that it had to be 5, 10s, and 50s, you guys. Because okay, I'm going to change this to 10, which brings me down to 160. And then my mom can't be 75, but since I'm taking a 5 to savings, I'll block her down to 70. Sorry, Mom, you'll get more next page. So we have 125 minus 70, and that'll be, I'm sorry, let me do 80 for her. All right, let me do this again. 200 minus 20, I could take out 20. Minus 10, I can take out 10s. Minus 10 is 160. Minus 30 for Riley. Minus 10 for my car. Minus 80 for my mom. So we're at 40 bucks. I'm gonna put $10 in secret stash, which brings me down to 30, and I'm gonna throw 30 for savings, which, I mean, that's, saving 30 bucks is such a small fraction of the actual amount. You know, it's almost painful to see how little, but I need to try. Like I said, I mean, part of me is trying to take care of the now, part of me is trying to clean up the mistakes of my past, and part of me is squirreling away for the future. So I'm very divided here between like these past, present, and future financial needs and situations. And okay, so that's that actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna figure out what my denominations are. And I guess I'm gonna fill this out real quick and I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I had a moment, as I usually do, where I feel like I'm messing up or I'm doing something wrong. I think it feels weird to have more money. So, okay. So we're gonna break this down into our 10s, 20s, and 50s so I can just go to the ATM since it is Saturday night and the bank is closed. Food is $200. I'm just gonna do 450s. I mean, personal is getting a 20, miscellaneous is a 20. Bills is a 20, medical is a 10, savings is a 10. Riley is a 30, so she gets a 20 and a 10. Bar is gonna be a 10. My mom is an 80, so I'll do well, it really doesn't matter what I do since she's going to basically end up getting a check. I think for the sake of having more 50s, which never happens, I'll do a 50. Oh no, I can't because it'll leave me with 30. I guess I'll just do 4 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80. I mean, I guess I could have done one of each, but secret stash is a 10. Savings is a 30, so that's a 20 and a 10. My mom is actually out of the country on a really cool trip right now, and she's not even going to be back until several days after Mother's Day. So I was like, oh, I was going to mail you a card. So I'm actually going to hold off on mailing her the card since she won't be there, which works out in my favor because I was going to send it after this, but now I get to also pull out another chunk on the 15th, and that'll give me a little bit. Love to get her. I like her check to be decent. I mean, I think we're, at least be like 300, 350. That would be a nice little chunk. That would almost get me to the halfway point. We'll put this 80 in this day, and the next paycheck we'll also try to match to try to get her up to that. I have one more paycheck, which is cool. All right, let's see. What are we actually doing here? So we have 5 50s, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 20s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10s. So when we're all said and done, it should even out to 440. So let's see if that is the case. 7 10s is 70. 9 20s is 180. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, 180. 5 50s is 250. No, that's 400. Girl, what did you do? Oh, this is not a 5. That was the 50 I put that I crossed out. Woo, okay. For a second I was like, okay, what? Well, let's try this again. 7 10s is 70. 9 20s, yeah, because 9 times 2, right? 180 and 200. And that brings me up to 450. No. What am I doing wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I counted everything wrong. That is a big reason why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we should be good. So it's actually not 7 10s, it's 6 10s. My numbers are right. My math is what is off. I am off. But at least this isn't off because that is what is actually the harder thing to deal with. I added that. That's why it came out to 16. So 6 10s is 60. Then we have 9 20s, which we now know is 180. And then we have 4 50s, which is 200. And then we end up with 440. Okay, cool. And honestly, I'm about to just hop in my car right now and go to the ATM and pull out this cash, do my stuffing because I so desperately need to go food shopping tomorrow morning. And I didn't want to pull from my checking account, so I really wanted to get this taken care of. So we're going to say, oh, I guess I don't really need to do the bank slip. I just need to keep track of this for me. So I'm pulling out 440. I'm going to have to ask for 6 10s, 9 20s, and 4 50s. I was super excited when I saw that the ATM machine at my bank now lets you pick denominations because I was like, ooh, there are times where I can't get to the bank. Then I have to wait. and then I would end up using my checking account, all the stuff, right? This makes it easier. The only caveat is you have to be careful with what you're pulling. This is looking good. I live paycheck to paycheck. So for this check, my needs are met. I have bills taken care of, I have taxes taken care of, I have debt taken care of, Snowball payment, mom, and me. That is all I can ask for. I feel blessed right now. I feel like I have what I need to make it through another 2 weeks, and I'm gonna just keep working my butt off because that is what I do. I hope that everybody is doing well, that you're having a wonderful weekend and a wonderful Sunday. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.